The Galactic Senate floated in silence. In a massive hall orbiting the star system of Velar Prime, ambassadors from hundreds of planets sat in their glowing thrones. Each represented a powerful race, some reptilian, some crystalline, some so advanced they barely had physical form anymore. And today's topic: Earth. The council speaker, a six-eyed being called Val Theron, clicked his mandibles and looked around the chamber. "Let it be recorded," he said, his voice deep and echoing. "Planet 342X, known to its inhabitants as Earth, has been officially observed for 70 solar cycles. Reports classify it as Category 0, primitive, fractured, emotionally unstable, and physically weak." Several beings chuckled. A watery ambassador from Glathis Prime sloshed in his seat. "They still burn fossil fuels," he bubbled. "Some of their cities drown in their own pollution." "They fight among themselves," said another, a feathery creature from the Uran system. "They've had over 1,000 wars in just one cycle." Val Theron raised a claw. "We agree then, Earth is not a threat." A vote was taken. The decision was unanimous. Earth was the weakest planet in known space. Somewhere near Neptune, hidden inside the cold shadows of the outer solar system, an alien scout ship hovered quietly. Its black surface shimmered as it adjusted its camouflage. No Earth tech could detect it. Inside the ship, Commander Zither was not impressed. "This is it?" he growled, watching Earth signals on a glowing screen. "This dirty little ball is what the Senate wastes resources on." The crew watched clips collected from Earth. Cat videos, dance challenges, arguments on live news channels. Leaders shouting, people crying. How did these creatures even survive this long? One soldier muttered. "They are divided," Zither said. "Weak, emotional, but strangely persistent, curious even." "Permission to land?" asked the pilot. Zither hesitated. His mission was only observation, but curiosity itched at him like a parasite. "Take us in," he said. "Let's see the insects up close." Earth, Northern Hemisphere, rural Montana far below. The stars were hidden behind thick clouds. A small farmhouse sat quietly in the middle of nowhere. Inside, an old man sipped coffee, listening to the radio. His name was David Hayes, a retired military engineer. He heard a strange hum outside. Setting down his mug, David walked to the porch. He narrowed his eyes at the sky. Then a sharp crack echoed as something flashed overhead, cutting through clouds like a blade. It hit the nearby woods, a glowing streak disappearing into the darkness. David didn't panic. He grabbed his old flashlight, his boots, and an ancient shotgun. "Not again," he whispered. Back in orbit, Zither coughed blood. Crash had damaged their systems. Oxygen was low. Lights flickered. 2 of his crew were dead, burned in their seats. He opened the hatch, breathing the thick air of Earth. Disgusting, wet, full of strange smells. He activated his translator and scanner. No signs of intelligent life nearby. But the readings were wrong. Something was watching. Then came the sound, slow, deliberate footsteps outside the ship. Zither readied his weapon. The hatch hissed, and a human walked in. David, gray beard, wrinkled hands, calm eyes. He looked at the towering alien calmly, flashlight in one hand, shotgun in the other. Zither aimed his plasma pistol. "Do not move." David didn't flinch. "You all right, son?" Zither hesitated. This was not fear. The human's eyes held curiosity. "You're trespassing," David said. "And bleeding." Zither's hand shook. David slowly stepped forward. "Put that toy down. I'm not gonna hurt you." Zither lowered his weapon, confused. "Come on," David said. "Let's get you patched up." 2 days later, the Galactic Empire waited. No message came from the scout ship. Then the second ship went silent too, then the third. Now they were worried, but Earth still sent no signals of panic. No armies moved. No alerts were detected. Just silence. Commander Velkar, head of Outer Rim Exploration, watched the data in frustration. They're either incredibly stupid ... or hiding something. No, said his assistant. They're too weak. The environment must be toxic, or the creatures hostile. Velkar tapped his claws against the table. Then send in a full extraction team. I want answers. Earth, secret location, underground bunker. David Hayes stood in a room filled with tools. Old weapons, and now alien tech. Zither lay on a metal table, bandaged and weak. But his translator was on, and they had been speaking for hours. You're saying your people think we're weak? David asked. Zither nodded. You are primitive. You lack planetary unity. You fight over small things, David chuckled. And yet, your ship crashed, and you needed me to save you. Zither looked away. He had no answer. David picked up a piece of alien tech, spinning it in his hand. This is gonna change everything. Zither looked at him. What will you do? David smiled. Nothing yet. Let them come. Round 1 was their idea. He looked out the window. But round 2 will be ours. Meanwhile, Galactic. News broadcast on Channel 9, across the galaxy, a popular anchor barked into the camera. Latest report. Earth is confirmed as the weakest planet in all categories. Their largest bomb can't even scratch a Class 3 warship. Their armies are scattered. Their tech outdated, their species disorganized. He laughed. In other news, 3 exploration ships have gone missing near Earth's orbit, probably due to mechanical failure. Nothing to worry about. Far away, deep in the Arctic, a child found something in the snow, half buried, was a strange glowing object, smooth metal, warm to the touch. As he touched it, it pulsed. The alien tech had survived the crash, and Earth had just begun to play with fire. Final scene, cliffhanger, in a dark room deep inside a mountain. A group of scientists, soldiers, and engineers gathered. On the screen in front of them, a video played, recorded by the now missing alien team. It showed humans fighting, laughing, building. Then it showed something terrifying. A human, a young woman, wearing a piece of alien armor, perfectly adapted to her body, moving with impossible speed. She's using their tech already, whispered one of the scientists. An old general stood, arms crossed. They underestimated us. He turned to the others. Let them. We'll give them one more chance. He smirked. Then it's our turn. The Galactic Empire was confused. 3 scout teams were missing. All had gone to observe a weak planet called Earth. None had returned. No signals, no data. Only silence. Commander Velkar stood in front of a huge star map, red eyes blinking slowly. Around him, officers buzzed like insects, typing, scanning, calling. Status? He growled. No transmission. No crash alerts. It's like they vanished, an officer replied. Velkar's thick fingers tapped the control panel. This shouldn't be possible. That planet is rated Category 0. No defense, no space force, no energy shields. He turned to the room. Then where are my men? Aboard the search ship, Clarity's Edge, Captain Thalveen, a calm but sharp officer of the Empire's Recovery Division, prepared his team. They were not warriors, they were investigators. This is not a combat mission. He reminded his crew. Our job is to observe, retrieve, and report. We do not engage with locals unless necessary. The ship flew quietly toward Earth. From orbit, Earth looked peaceful. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds. So harmless, but Thalveen had a strange feeling. The air felt off. Something about Earth made his stomach twist. He ordered a scan. Static. Interference from the planet, one tech suggested. Possibly natural, Thalveen replied. Or not. Touchdown. Earth, forested zone. The search team landed in the same region where the last scout vanished. Their landing was silent, invisible to human radar. They moved like shadows. Trees whispered in the wind. The ground was soft with recent rain. The air smelled of pine and cold dirt. But something else was in the air. Burnt metal. Old blood. They found the crashed ship within the hour. Twisted, blackened, and clearly attacked. No signs of survivors. One officer said, "Scan the area," Thalvin ordered. Then someone screamed. Inside the wreckage a soldier was found. Barely alive. His skin was pale, armor cracked, eyes wild. His name, Larnuk Engineer, Scout Team 3. He was trembling, covered in cuts. "Report, soldier," Thalvin said. Larnuk opened his mouth, but the translator couldn't keep up. "He's saying." "They watched us," a medic translated. "They didn't run. They smiled while we burned." Thalvin leaned in. "Who? Locals?" Larnuk nodded, eyes wide. "They knew we were coming. They let us land. They studied us like we studied them." His voice dropped to a whisper. "They're not weak. They're patient." And then he passed out. Meanwhile, in a garage in Texas, a teenage girl named Sarah Briggs was doing something she didn't fully understand. She had found a strange device in her father's storage room, glowing, smooth, with buttons that seemed to respond to thought. She touched it. It glowed brighter. She held it to her chest. It clicked out suddenly. Her vision sharpened. Her arms felt lighter. Her heartbeat slowed. Her dog barked in fear. She looked at the mirror. A thin armor had wrapped itself around her shoulders. Alien tech. Human. Hands. Sarah grinned. Back on the search ship. Thalvin sat quietly, listening to Larnuk breathe. "What do we tell the Empire?" His second-in-command asked. "The truth," Thalvin said. "But what truth is that?" Thalvin looked at Earth on the screen. "That we misjudged this planet." He opened a secure line to the Empire. "Subject planet has potential threat. Markers. Locals are displaying signs of accelerated adaptation and reverse engineering. Recommend temporary isolation status and deeper analysis." A long pause, then came the reply. "Denied. Proceed with sample retrieval. Earth remains classified as non-threatening." Thalvin stared at the screen. "They're not listening." Earth. David Hayes Bunker Zither, the injured alien from the first crash, was walking again. David Hayes had learned much in just a few days. Alien materials, circuits, energy cores. He had modified one of Zither's scanners to detect signals coming from the sky. "They're sending more, aren't they?" David asked. Zither nodded. "Search team, they'll come quietly." David laughed. "Let them. We'll give them something to find." He opened a hidden compartment. Inside, a small cube. Glowing red. Alien power core. David placed it on the table and smiled. "Let's make Earth invisible." Intermission scene. The Lactic Senate. In the tall halls of the Senate, a new report was presented. Humanity continues to display violent tendencies. They have no planetary unity, no space travel capability, low threat level. However, Ambassador Jannar from the Zyrex Council interrupted. "There are rumors, whispers, missing teams, disappearing ships." Valfarin narrowed his eyes. "Earth is noise, nothing more. Focus on real threats. Let the insects play with their stones." Jannar disagreed. He had seen the footage. A human carrying a dead alien soldier. No fear, just curiosity. And something worse. Confidence. Nighttime in Earth skies above the clouds. The clarities. Edge hovered, cloaked. Below. Strange energy pulses danced through human airwaves. Someone or something was watching back. Thalvin paced the control deck. "Sir, we're detecting backscans. Someone's tracing us." "What?" he asked sharply. "Location unknown. But the signal is Earth origin." Thalvin stared at the screen. A red dot appeared. Right where his ship was hiding. Someone had just pinged them from the ground, and then their ship lights went dark. Power failure. Panic. Emergency systems online. Who did that? Not natural. Sir, our thrusters are offline. Thalveen shouted, "Backup shields, now!" But nothing worked. Then the screen turned on, by itself. A message appeared, just 5 words. "We see you now, run." No name. No voice. Just English. The ship began shaking. Outside, a bright flash exploded in the distance. Electromagnetic, silent. Controlled. Human made. Alien design. And aimed with precision. Earth. Hidden lab. Unknown location in a cold underground lab. Sarah Briggs was connected to a machine. Scientists watched her heart rate. On screens, alien code ran side by side with human code. "We've done it," one whispered. "We've translated their system," said another. "And we've used it against them." Sarah opened her eyes. "Can I try the suit again?" The general nodded. "One more test." She stood, walked to the center. And vanished. The armor had activated stealth. 10 seconds later, she reappeared behind the wall. Everyone stared. Humanity was learning. Fast. Back. On the Empire ship. Retreat. Thalveen shouted, "Get us out of orbit." But their engines were still down. Then, a sound. Tapping. On the outside of the hull. Impossible. Space was silent. But they heard it. Slow. Sharp knocks. Tap. Tap. Something was on their ship. Hull. Breach. A camera showed it. A figure in armor, smooth, black with glowing blue eyes. It had no wings. No weapons, but it had human hands. The crew froze. "That's impossible." The figure waved. And then the camera died. Hull breach. Oxygen gone. Screens faded to black. Earth. 1 hour later, David and Zither sat by a fire. Zither was quiet. "You understand now," David said. "This is not your home. But it's ours. And we protect it." Zither looked at the flames. "I warned them. They didn't listen." David threw another log into the fire. "That's the thing about humans," he said. "We let people talk. We let them underestimate us. We let them get close." He turned, and then we end it. Final scene, message sent in a small observatory in Europe. A radio scientist picked up something strange. A message. Digital, clean, galactic format. But the signal origin. Earth. And the message content? Just this. "Your scouts were delicious. Send more." The scientist dropped his coffee. And across the stars, the Empire read the message. Everyone went quiet. Someone whispered, "Missing?" Another replied, "No, eaten." The Empire had waited long enough. 3 scout teams, gone. 1 search vessel, destroyed. Now, they were done watching. Commander Velkar stood in the war chamber of the dreadnought Vortex Fang, a ship so large it could block out a moon. He faced the projection of Earth with cold, golden eyes. "This planet has insulted us," he said. "This planet thinks itself clever. We will teach them fear." A full disciplinary force was approved to 300 elite soldiers. Shock troops, cyber beasts, tactical drones, all programmed for domination. Earth wasn't going to be observed anymore. It was going to be conquered. Inside the Empire. Ship on route to Earth. Captain Zereth, leader of the first strike team, sharpened his twin blades in silence. Around him, soldiers suited up in black exo-armor. Their helmets had glowing red eyes, and their weapons could melt steel. "This will take 1 Earth night," he said coldly. "No survivors, no signals left behind. We erase the memory of resistance." No one doubted him. Earth was still listed as a Category 0 planet, weak, confused, unprepared. But no one noticed that Earth was waiting. Earth, global silence in cities, towns, and hidden places. Humans had already begun preparing. Military bases were on silent alert. Satellites were quietly tracking strange shadows above the atmosphere. Engineers were testing alien-powered weapons. Coders were rewriting captured alien AI. But there were no headlines, no news reports, no mass panic. Because this time, Earth was not going to scream. It was going to strike back. Arrival, Vortex Fang in orbit. The massive ship entered Earth's orbit, but strangely, no resistance. No defense systems. No nuclear launches. Just quiet clouds and blinking city lights. Pathetic, Xerath muttered. They don't even know we're here. He deployed his units. 3 drop pods launched, 1 to each major continent. North America, mountainous forest zone. Asia, industrial edge near a research facility. Africa, wide desert plains. Each team was ordered to crush, record, and return. None of them would. Drop Zone 1, Rocky Mountains, midnight. The forest was quiet. Cold wind passed between trees. The alien drop pod hissed open. 7 troopers marched out, scanning, ready to dominate. They saw a small wooden cabin in the distance. Lights off, smoke rising from the chimney. Inside, one old woman, knitting. Scan her mind, Xerath's second said. The machine beeped. Language, English. Threat level, low. Brain activity, calm. The soldiers moved forward, but halfway through. The yard, boom. The ground exploded. Metal spikes shot upward. 3 soldiers fell instantly. A human voice shouted from the trees, "Wrong cabin, boys!" A group of camouflaged humans opened fire, but not with bullets. With energy weapons made from alien parts. Xerath's team fell into chaos. In 60 seconds, only 2 were alive. The old woman stepped outside, holding the smoking alien rifle. "You brought a knife to a gunfight," she said. Zap. Drop Zone 2, Asia, research facility. The second pod landed on the edge of a mountain lab hidden behind steel walls. Xerath's Unit B entered fast, breaking doors, killing guards. But inside? Nothing. No data, no computers, just silence. Then they heard it. System breach detected. The lights went red. From the ceiling, machines dropped. Not alien drones, but human-built hybrid defense bots, using Empire-grade energy shields, reverse-engineered. "Tech," a soldier shouted. "Yes," a voice said behind him. It was a young scientist, holding a small cube. "Want to see what else we learned?" He threw it. The explosion bent gravity for 6 seconds. The team was crushed under their own weight. Drop. Zone 3, African Desert Team C expected an easy mission. Flatland, no structures. Just heat and sand. They marched forward, unaware that they had walked into a magnetic minefield. Each step drew hidden metal toward them. Tiny drones emerged from under the sand, insect-shaped. Fast and hungry, they crawled into armored joints. Soldiers screamed. 2 tried to run back to the pod. The pod exploded. In the distance, a human boy stood with a tablet. He pressed a final button. The ground collapsed under the aliens, dropping them into a trap bunker. Sealed. End of team. C. Vortex Fang. Command Deck Velker stared at the blinking red screens. All teams. Offline. No video, no sound, no survivors. "How?" he asked. "This doesn't make sense." "His comes." Officer said, "We just received a signal, sir." "It's from Earth." Velkar turned. "Put it on." A human face appeared, masked but calm. The voice was female. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "You came to conquer. You didn't ask if we were ready." She leaned forward. "We are now." The screen cut. Inside a U.S. military bunker. General Keller watched the transmission logs. His officers stood at attention. "We intercepted there. Squad feeds. We have full visual on Empire weapons, armor weaknesses, and tactical patterns." An analyst added, "We can now copy 27% of their tech systems. That number will double in 72 hours. Keller smiled. "Good. Keep the noise low. We don't want the rest of the galaxy hearing us yet." In a suburban basement, Chicago, a group of teenagers sat around a glowing device. One of them was typing fast. "Guys," he whispered, "I just hacked into an alien drone orbiting above us." Another girl said, "What? That thing's real? Yes, he said. And now it's ours. The drone's lights turned green dot, then it flew down into the yard. The dog barked. Humanity had just gained a new pet. Galactic Empire, Outer Rim. Transmission hub. A delayed report reached the outer systems. Disciplinary force to Earth, lost contact. Status unknown. Empire High Command argued, impossible. They must be hiding. Send the next wave. But someone had doubts. Admiral Tornak, older and wiser, remembered history. This is not stupidity, he said. This is strategy. He pulled up an old Earth quote from intercepted data. Do not interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. He looked at the Earth file again. They're not panicking. They're studying. Earth. Sarah Briggs, second Tessera, stood in a new version of the armor, thinner, faster, stronger. She blinked. The world slowed down. One step, and she was across the room. Speed enhancement is 12x normal human limit. A scientist whispered. And strength? The general asked. Sarah picked up a small tank with one hand. No sweat. Everyone clapped. Sarah smiled. Ready for round 2? Final scene. A warning. A satellite above Earth began sending out a low-frequency message. Encrypted. It reached 3 nearby systems in 2 minutes. The message? Simple. To all observing species, Earth is under adaptation. Do not engage. Do not interfere. Watch and learn. Back in the Empire, Velkar stood alone in the dark command room. He looked at the planet below. He whispered. They were never weak. Behind him, a hologram of Earth rotated. Just sleeping. Commander Velkar sat alone in the cold control room of the dreadnought Vortex Fang. The walls hummed with low energy. The ship orbiting silently above Earth. The flickering holograms showed red dots as forces, scattered, lost, or destroyed. The Empire's first strike had failed, but Velkar could not accept defeat. He stared hard at the glowing blue planet beneath him. It looked peaceful, calm, so calm. Like a sleeping beast. Impossible, he whispered. This planet was supposed to be weak. The High Council chamber, Galactic Empire far away, in the shining halls of the Empire's capital, the High Council was in session. The Emperor sat on a tall throne, cold and stern. Reports from Earth? He asked. Minister Halgor, the chief intelligence officer, stood nervously. Your Majesty, the first strike failed. Losses are higher than expected. Enemy resistance is stronger than anticipated. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Explain. Halgor showed a series of images. Alien soldiers defeated, ships damaged, human forces striking back. It appears the humans have reverse-engineered our technology. They are adapting faster than our models predicted. A council member scoffed. That is impossible. Humans are primitive. But the Emperor's face was hard. No, we underestimated them. This changes everything. Earth, Underground Command. Centered deep beneath the surface, General Keller paced in front of a digital map showing the Empire's fleet movements. We've survived the first strike, he said. But they will try again, Lieutenant Garcia nodded. Our scouts report new ships moving closer to Earth, reinforcements. Keller looked grim. We can't just defend. We need a plan to end this before it starts. He turned to Sarah Briggs. Now fully armored and trained. You've been our symbol of hope, Keller said. Are you ready to lead the next phase? Sarah looked determined. More than ready. Galactic Senate debate. Back in the Senate chambers, voices rose in argument. Earth is insignificant, declared Ambassador Valkeen. We should ignore this planet. Ambassador Janar from the Xyrix Council responded. They are growing too fast. Their technology and tactics are unpredictable. Valkeen waved dismissively. Then send in more troops. We will crush them. Janar shook his head. This is not about force. This is about respect. We are witnessing a new player in the galaxy. denying that will cost us dearly. Empire fleet, preparing for round 2 on board the Vortex Fang. Commander Velkar prepared his troops. This time, he said, we will not fail. His soldiers trained harder, upgraded weapons, and studied human tactics. Humanity is clever. Yes, Velkar admitted, but they are still beneath us. In the training halls, soldiers sparred against holograms of humans. One young recruit asked, "Sir, why do they fight so fiercely despite their primitive weapons?" Velkar smiled coldly. "Because they fight for their home. Earth." The new weapon in a secret laboratory. Scientists worked on a new weapon, a hybrid of human ingenuity and stolen alien tech. Sarah Briggs watched as the weapon activated a glowing orb that could disrupt the Empire's ship's energy shields. "This is our advantage," Sarah said. "We must use it wisely." A sudden attack. Suddenly, alarms blared on Earth's command center. "Incoming fleet." Lieutenant Garcia shouted through the massive windows. A fleet of Empire ships appeared on the horizon. "They're here." Keller said. Sarah suited up, ready to face the enemy. The battle begins. The sky above Earth filled with ships firing energy beams. Explosions lit the dark sky, but humans fought back. Jets, drones, and a new weapon disrupted enemy shields. Velkar watched the battle unfold. "Not bad," he said grudgingly, "but they will break." A secret message as the battle raged. A strange message reached the Empire fleet. "Humans are not your enemies. They are your future." No sender. No signature. Just a warning. Velkar looked at the message, troubled. "Is this a trick?" he asked. His second in command shook his head. "Or a prophecy." Earth. After the battle, the sky was scarred with smoke and fire, but humans cheered. "We survived," Sarah said, "but this is only the beginning." The Empire's next move. Back on the Vortex Fang, the Emperor decided, "Prepare for total war. We will either conquer Earth or be destroyed." Velkar nodded. This time, no mercy. The war had entered a new phase. The Empire's mighty fleet, scarred but unbroken, loomed over Earth like a shadow of doom. But the humans were no longer the weak planet the Empire had thought. They had adapted. They had learned. And now they were ready to fight back harder than ever. Inside Earth's command center, General Keller stood at the front of the room, watching the incoming fleet on the big screen. His face was calm but serious. "Today we fight not just to survive, but to turn the tide," he said. Sarah Briggs, armored and battle-ready, looked at the general. "What's the plan, sir?" Keller smiled slightly. "We hit their command ship. If we can take down Vortex Fang, the rest will fall into chaos." Sarah nodded. She knew the risks, but she was ready. The Empire fleet, Vortex Fang Commander Velkar, walked through the halls of his ship, inspecting the soldiers. Many were wounded, but spirits remained high. "We will crush these humans once and for all," Velkar told his officers. No mercy, no mistakes, but in his mind, a question nagged. Could the humans be stronger than he thought? No, he told himself. They are clever, yes, but not strong enough. Preparing the attack on Earth, scientists worked tirelessly. The new weapon, the energy disruptor, was almost ready. Dr. Lin, the lead scientist, explained it to Sarah. "This device can disable their energy shields temporarily," she said. "You will have a small window to strike." Sarah listened carefully. "We must be precise," she said. "One shot, one kill." The final plan. At night, Sarah and her team gathered. "We have only one chance," she said. "We go in fast, hit the command ship, and get out before they know what hit them." Her teammates nodded, ready. The attack begins. The human fleet moved swiftly. Fighter jets soared through the sky, dodging enemy fire. Sarah's ship led the charge. Empire's ships fired lasers, missiles, and energy blasts, but the humans used new tactics. They worked together, protecting each other, covering blind spots. Sarah's ship closed in on Vortex Fang, breaching the command ship with the energy disruptor activated. Vortex Fang's shields flickered and dropped. Sarah's team fired grappling hooks and climbed onto the ship's hull. Inside, they faced waves of Empire soldiers, but the humans fought with skill and determination. Sarah led the charge, using a mix of human weapons and stolen alien tech. The heart of Vortex Fang finally. They reached the command deck. Commander Velkar waited, sword in hand. "You think you can defeat me?" he snarled. Sarah stepped forward. "We fight for our home," she said, "and we will not lose." The battle was fierce. Swords clashed, guns fired, energy crackled. Unexpected allies suddenly. From the shadows another group appeared. They were not humans. They were rebels from the Empire, tired of war and destruction. "Help us here," said their leader. Together, humans and rebels pushed Velkar back. The turning point. Velkar was forced to retreat as Vortex Fang began to lose power. Outside, the human fleet saw the signal. Vortex Fang was dying. The Empire fleet panicked. Victory? Sarah watched as the massive ship exploded in a bright flash. Cheers erupted among her team. "We did it," she said quietly. But the war was not over. A new threat far from Earth. In the dark void, a new fleet approached. It was bigger, stronger, filled with weapons the humans had never seen. The galaxy was watching. Earth was no longer the weakest planet. The sky over Earth was dark again, but this time, it wasn't night. It was the shadow of a new fleet, much larger, far more dangerous. The Empire had not retreated after the destruction of Vortex Fang. They had come back with vengeance. Galactic Empire, last orders from his high throne. The Emperor of the Galactic Empire stared at the final transmission from Earth. Vortex Fang was gone. Velkar was presumed dead. The Emperor stood slowly. "This has gone far enough." He turned to his warlords. "Earth will not just be punished, it will be made an example." He raised one clawed hand. "Unleash the Death Fleet." Across 10 star systems, giant ships powered up. The Death Fleet, a force never used before, was on the move. Their goal? Total planetary annihilation. Earth calm before the storm. General Keller stood on the rooftop of the command bunker. He looked at the sky. Stars were disappearing behind dark shapes. He spoke into his communicator. Confirm visual. "Death Fleet is here." In the room below, alarms blared. But Keller didn't panic. "We knew this day would come," he said. "It's time for the full plan." The human counterplan inside the underground lab. Sarah Briggs stood in front of a holographic table with her team. Dr. Lin and 2 rebel aliens from the Empire's splinter group stood beside her. "Every second matters now," Dr. Lin said. The plan had 3 parts. Disable communication between the enemy ships. Hit their power cores using the new prototype weapons. Broadcast Earth's warning to the galaxy. If they succeeded, the Death Fleet would fall into chaos. If they failed, there would be no Earth left to try again. Empire begins bombardment from the sky. Beams of blue and red light shot down toward Earth's oceans and deserts. Entire landscapes shook. Earthquakes, firestorms, cities plunged into darkness, and still, humans fought back. Military teams activated EMP towers, jamming enemy signals. Hackers in underground shelters began slicing into the Empire's satellite network. Above, Earth's prototype ships, small, fast, but powerful, shot out of hidden bases and raced toward the enemy. Sarah leads the Sky Team. Sarah flew at the front of the Falcon Wing, Earth's first real spacefighter squad. Her armor was now fully upgraded with alien-human tech fusion. Faster than before. Stronger than before. She looked at the enemy fleet ahead. "Let's show them Earth doesn't go quietly," her team responded. HFY. Humanity. F*******. Yeah. Inside the Death Fleet flagship, the supreme commander of the Death Fleet, Morzeth, stood on the bridge of the largest warship ever built. 3 miles long, capable of splitting planets. He stared at Earth through the glass wall. Target, human capital cities. His tactical officer gave the signal ... and then ... nothing happened. The systems froze. The command screens glitched. Sirens screamed. What is this? Morseth growled. The hack in a small mountain bunker. 2 teenage hackers, Leo and Priya, cheered. We're in, using alien code stolen by Sarah's team. They had infiltrated the Death Fleet's control system. They started uploading a virus. Project Phantom. It caused internal confusion. One ship thought the others were enemies. Auto defense systems activated. Lasers fired on friendly ships. It was chaos. Rebel ally strike in the middle of the Death Fleet. 4 ships suddenly turned Empire rebels, the ones who had helped Sarah during the Vortex Fan mission. Their leader, Eric's, broadcast to all ships, to those still loyal to the Emperor, stop this madness. Earth is not the enemy. Earth is the warning. Some ships stopped firing, others panicked. Sarah's assault on the command core. Sarah and a small strike team flew straight toward the flagship. The fleet's anti-air defenses were distracted. They pierced through. Inside, they fought enemy guards and broke into the central reactor room. The room pulsed with alien energy. Dr. Lin, speaking from a remote feed, gave Sarah final instructions. Hit the core with the plasma detonator. Then run. Sarah planted the device. A soldier asked, "How? Long before it blows?" She looked back. Not long enough. They ran. Escape. Just in time, as Sarah's shuttle pulled away. The flagship exploded behind them in a wave of light and dust. From orbit, it looked like a second sunrise. The Death Fleet began to collapse without their leader, and with their systems corrupted, they scattered. Some ships self-destructed. Others fled. Earth, shock and awe the human population, hiding in shelters, watched the sky turn orange. And then clear. The clouds lit up. Then the stars returned. A voice on the radio. They're leaving. We're still here. People cried. People laughed. People rose from underground shelters and looked up. The Empire had come to erase them, and failed. Galactic Senate. Reaction on the capital world. The Galactic Senate watched the events unfold live. Earth's signal had been broadcast across star systems. Every race, every planet, saw the battle, saw the resistance, saw the impossible. A Category 0 planet defeating the Death Fleet. Ambassador Janar stood and spoke. This changes everything. Valkeen, who once mocked Earth, said nothing. The Emperor's rage far from the Senate. The Emperor stood in silence, his armada broken, his generals dashed dead. In Earth, still standing, he crushed a metal cup in his hand. Begin the next phase. He said, "Bring me the Reaper class." Sarah's return back on Earth. Sarah stepped off the ship, tired but alive. Her team cheered her. General Keller shook her hand. "You gave us a future," he said. Sarah looked at the sky. "No," she said. "We gave the galaxy a choice." Final scene, a new alliance. A week later, a small ship landed in front of Earth's UN building. Stepped 3 alien leaders from rebel worlds. Behind them stood diplomats from former neutral planets. They came to talk. To listen. To ally. Earth was no longer alone. It was now a symbol, of war, but of hope. The galaxy had changed. Earth, once considered weak, primitive, and divided, had done the impossible. It had survived the Empire's Death Fleet, and now all eyes were on the blue planet that everyone had ignored. Scene 1, Galactic War. Room. The Emperor stood inside a dark chamber. Only a few commanders remained around him. Most were dead, missing, or had joined the rebels. The room was silent. Then a deep voice broke the silence. "You promised they were nothing." The Emperor didn't answer. His golden robe dragged across the cold floor as he walked to the center of the room. "Earth was weak," he said slowly. "We studied them, we watched. They were distracted, emotional, divided. A young general stepped forward. Sir, they were not weak. They were waiting. Scene 2 Earth, 1 week after the victory. Sarah Briggs sat outside the command base. Her armor was powered down, but the glow was still visible on her hands. She held a small plant pot in her lap. The war was not over, but there was peace. For now, General Keller walked up beside her. We've received messages from over 20 planets, he said. All asking for help. Some want alliance. Others want to learn from us. Sarah looked up at the sky. We were always looked at like insects, she said. But now they see the truth. Keller nodded. Now they see humans. Scene 3. The Reaper-class ships far away, in deep space. The last weapon of the Empire moved quietly. The Reaper-class ships. Massive, old, forgotten by most. These were not warships. These were planet killers, silent giants made for one purpose only: extinction. The Emperor gave the order, send one. Let them feel fear again. The last general hesitated. Only one, sir? The Emperor smiled. One is enough. Scene 4. Human Alliance Council. Earth had changed. Inside a large hall once used for United Nations meetings, representatives from 8 alien races now sat together with human leaders. On the large screen floated the hologram of the Reaper-class ship, headed toward Earth. Dr. Lin stood to speak. Our scans say this ship is not just powerful. It's alive in some way. Its systems are partly organic. It cannot be hacked. Sarah narrowed her eyes. Then we don't hack it. We enter it. Gasps filled the room. You want to board a ship that can destroy planets? Someone asked. Yes. Sarah said. We board it. We shut it down from the inside. Because if we don't... She looked around. There will be no more Earth to fight for. Scene 5. The final mission. The plan was made. It would be Earth's last mission if it failed. Sarah would lead the boarding team. Alien engineers would assist in bypassing Reaper tech. Rebel ships would distract the Reaper's outer defenses. The team suited up. Sarah stood in her full armor, now upgraded with human creativity and alien strength. Once more, Keller said, saluting her. Sarah smiled. For Earth. Scene 6. Entering the Reaper. The Reaper ship was not just big. It was horrifying. The outside looked like black bones wrapped in metal skin. No lights, no movement. Just silence. As the team entered through a service hatch, everything inside was cold, dark, and alive. Walls pulsed. Floors were soft and humming. This isn't just a ship, an alien engineer whispered. This is a machine that dreams. Sarah stayed focused. Let's find its heart. Scene 7. The core. They walked. For miles inside the ship. Strange whispers echoed through the walls. At one point, one soldier shot at his own reflection. The ship was playing mental tricks. Finally, they found it. The core brain. It was a massive orb surrounded by floating metallic veins. It moved slowly, breathing like a living thing. Sarah approached. How do we shut it down? One rebel engineer shook his head. We can't, but we can give it a choice. Scene 8. The choice. Sarah placed her hand on the core. Her armor glowed. The orb responded. Visions flashed before her eyes. Planets destroyed, stars consumed, billions screaming. Then, silence. A voice entered her mind. Why do you resist? She replied aloud. Because we choose to live. The voice was cold. You are weak, Sarah smiled. We were never weak. We were learning. We were waiting. And now, we're ready. The core pulsed violently. Lights flickered. Systems shook. Then the voice spoke again. Then prove it. Scene 9. The sacrifice. The only way to stop the Reaper ship was to overload the brain from the inside. But someone had to stay behind. One engineer volunteered. No, Sarah said. Another soldier stepped forward. I'll do it. Sarah stopped him. No one else dies. She turned to her team. Get to the exit. That's an order. They obeyed. Sarah stood alone in front of the core. She activated her armor's final power surge, one that would connect her energy directly to the ship's brain. Pain shot through her body, but she didn't scream. She whispered, "For Earth." Scene 1. Oh, the Reaper falls outside, in orbit. The Reaper's ship began to glow. Its arms cracked. Its engines burst. A wave of light spread out. Not destruction, but release. Inside the command room of Earth's base, silence filled the air. Then, a voice, "Reaper energy, gone, signal lost." And finally, it's over. Scene 11. A hero remembered. Sarah's ship never returned. A statue was built on the moon, her armor standing tall, one hand raised to the stars, below. It was written, not weak, just waiting. Sarah Briggs all across the galaxy. Her name was spoken. Human. Warrior. Leader. Scene 12. The aftermath. The Empire was broken. The Emperor vanished. The Senate collapsed. A new group of leaders from Earth and its allies formed a galactic peace council. Earth was no longer the silent planet in the corner of space. It had become the center. Scene 13. One last broadcast. A signal was sent across the galaxy. Audio only. The voice was human. Firm, calm, real. To all who can hear us, we are Earth. We were once called weak, but we are not. We are many, we are united, and we are watching. To those who come in peace, we welcome you. To those who bring war, we won't run, we won't hide. We will stand, because we are not weak. We were just waiting.